Well, continuing on this and to also speak about the looming Trump rally that we're about to go to any moment now, joining me is Professor of International Relations at RMIT University, Aiden Warren. Perhaps we'll start with what Olivia was just speaking about there, Aiden. How did you think Biden went today?
Look, it was obviously a much better performance than we saw a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. I mean, it was a bit more measured. I'm sure there would have been teleprompters and so forth, but really what we saw a week and a half, 2 weeks ago was probably the worst possible case scenario that the Democrats could have hoped for, given the fact that they did indeed call for that debate as more or less a referendum on Joe Biden's age and his togetherness, so to speak. So a better performance today, but again, the jury's still out. There's still so many question marks over here. I'm in Boston at the moment, and there's just question marks galore with both proponents and critics, and those are in the middle.
It's a massive week in the United States, isn't it? And I know Biden also has a press conference coming up later on in the week where he'll face, of course, scathing questions from the media, where he will have to be unscripted and to think on his feet. All eyes are on Biden. It's a high-stakes moment for him. Do you think that he can shift the narrative on a global stage?
It's going to take a lot of work. I mean, obviously, proponents of the Democrats were in panic mode, donors, lawmakers and so forth, for the first 2 to 3 days after it. He put in a decent performance in North Carolina the next day. And a lot of people were asking, where was that guy the night before? But I mean, it's going to take a bit of work and rolling up the sleeves and putting in a few more decent performances. I think people's, Democrat powers that be, they've cooled down a little bit in terms of wanting to maybe change the leadership, but he still has a lot to do in terms of really instilling confidence in both his party and those in the electorate who are in the middle in the lead up to the Democrats' own convention, national convention in August 19.
Indeed. I mean, Biden, it's no secret that he faces issues both domestically and internationally. Now, of course, at the NATO summit on that global stage, Trump has been a long skeptic of NATO itself. Let's talk about Trump. The rally is looming. It's about to begin any moment, of course. Aiden, what can we expect there today?
Oh, look, I mean, obviously you're going to expect what we've seen many times. He's had actually, for someone who is a convicted felon, Donald J. Trump has actually had a pretty good year politically. And we're going to see the same old things that he's rolled out going back to 2016 and beyond. We're going to see these, rallies. We're going to see it very simplified in terms of coming up with 4 to 5 slogans. Obviously, he's going to be very harsh on his opponent. He's going to, of course, refer to the debate. And he's really just going to be, it's going to be very continuum of what we've seen. Even though we know for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, he's been very low key post debate, which has been very interesting in itself.
I mean, the Republican National Convention is just days away. Do you think Trump will announce his running partner today? And I guess who are the top picks in your eyes?
Yeah. Look, I mean, obviously, the one, I think he may announce it. There's been a lot of discussion about that. I think Marco Rubio is seemingly in the box seat. He's the one that people have been talking about the most here. He's probably the best link. He's between the Republican orthodoxy, if you will, and independent voters, and he can sort of, push them towards getting on the Trump wagon, because there are a lot of orthodox Republicans who are quite concerned about, Trump's behavior and just his overall demeanor and approach and extreme policies at times. And so he's looked upon as one of the best linkages. J.D. Vance is an interesting one, another senator from Ohio, which again is in a marginal, one of those 6 to 7 marginal states, and so that could enable him to get some semblance of leverage in that crucial part of the world. But that of course Biden won in 2020, which I think the Republicans, if they want to win this election, will need to reconnect or re-win, so to speak, a couple of those Rust Belt marginal states.
Yeah, it is such a pivotal time in the US. There's so much happening on both sides of the political line at the moment. And I saw some images out of some fans, some loyal Trump fans waiting for hours. A classic. You can say what you like about them, but one thing they are is loyal, waiting there for hours just to get prime spots to see the former President Donald Trump. Aiden, thank you for your time today. Take care.
Anytime.